Hello everybody and welcome to our Tech Tuesday tutorial number 30. Today we go into the photo editing app and website called Pixlr Express. So Pixlr Express is part of the greater website called Pixlr.com, which is a topic for another Tech Tuesday. Today we're going to take a look at just the very light version of it called Pixlr Express. It's a photo editing app. It's similar to PicMonkey or even Instagram with some of its filters and so on, but I particularly like this one because of how easy it is to use and how available it is for you. So you can get Pixlr Express by just Googling it, and one of the first top searches here is the web store, the Chrome web store. I would go and grab it there unless you're not using Chrome, in which case you can just hit the first link. But if you use the Chrome web store, it actually installs as an app in your Chrome, which then allows you to kind of get to it a little easier and do single sign-on a little easier as well. So you go over there and just choose Add to Chrome and say Add App. When you first click there, if you're on Chrome, it's going to mention that, hey, it's Flash-based, and by default, Chrome kind of blocks a lot of Flash-based apps. So you're going to need to allow Chrome to use this. So when you click on the screen as it tells you, you're going to want to choose Allow to allow it to run Flash. And then you're doing OK. Now, if you're using AdBlock, which I use, and I had a Tech Tuesday video about it, you're going to need to go ahead and whitelist this one, mostly just so that they can get a little bit of revenue, show some ads, and maintain this service without having to charge you and keep it free. Again, I'm a fan of whitelisting sites that I use a good deal. Ads are unfortunately a way that companies pay for things like this and keep it free and not have to charge you. So if you say yes, it'll explain how to do this, and I'm going to go up here and turn this off. Right, so refresh, the ads will start showing up over here on the right hand side, and we're good. Now when you first come to Pixlr Express, it's going to ask you to provide an image in some way. You can either browse for an image on your computer, you can open one via URL, you can grab it from your webcam, or you can even tell it you'd like to make a collage out of multiple images. So let's take a look at the browse function first. So you click browse and find one on your computer that you'd like to use. I'm going to choose this one. And immediately you're given all of the different options down here at the bottom of what you can do to this picture. So some of the really good things you can do here are minor adjustments. So I'm going to go click on adjustments and it opens up into more things. So this image, unfortunately, is kind of not exactly straight, particularly with the horizon. So I might want to go in there and rotate this, and then I can straighten this just a tad. And what's great is I can just kind of move this slider here to straighten it out, and I can use the lines in the back and even let go of the slider to make the grid appear and disappear. Once that's good, I hit apply. I might then go in there and just choose autofix, which will automatically adjust the color and the contrast and everything. You can see the difference there. Such a huge difference from this kind of hazy look to a lot more crisp and clear. And so sometimes that's all you need to do with an image. A quick little autofix, a quick little rotate, maybe a resize or a crop. You can go in here and quickly select the areas that you'd like to keep. All right. Notice that you can also maintain the same ratio if you want to. You can do a 1:1 ratio, so it's square. You can do a 5:4, or any of these other ones like that, or 16:9, which was the original ratio for the image itself. So once you're done with that, of course, you can continue to mess with this, or you might want to go in here and adjust the contrast and make things kind of pop out a little bit more. A lot of times an easy way to fix an image is to boost the contrast and either increase or decrease the brightness just a tad. Okay, you can also apply effects. So some of these effects are broad effects, and so you can come in here and say, I want something that's going to kind of make it look vintage, right? So I can take this and select some of these, and immediately it's like it's a picture taken in the 1970s. I can come in here and say, I want this to be more unicolor, and I want it to be, this old 1920s kind of effect. Or I can come in here and just toy with any of this stuff. There's so many effects that you can apply, and they're all with one or two little clicks. It's pretty simple. Likewise, you have overlays, such as vignettes, which will darken the edges, or you might go in there and add all sorts of additional stuff like additional smoke effects or anything else like that. It's crazy just how much you can do here and how much you can apply to an image if you'd like to. There's also borders. So some of the borders are just a basic default, black border. You want a black border around that, and you want to adjust the opacity of that black border, you can. What's neat about it is that any of this stuff, you can come in here and favorite it. So if you hit the little heart there, then that'll be one of your favorites. In addition to borders, you have stickers, which are a bit more gaudy, but you can apply them if you like, and they can often add an element of playfulness or things like that to your image. You can resize them using the little dots here, or even the dot at the top, which will let you rotate things and so forth. So you can have things kind of popping in from the edges or anything else like that. You can add all sorts of other effects, even comic book kind of lettering and everything else. Anything you want to do and add that to. So it's not just photo manipulation. They do let you put some other items on here as well. You also have the option to put type in there, which will allow you to choose from handwritten stuff to more graphical, to just basic sans serif or serif font. So you can come in here, place your text where you want it to be, then come in here and type. You can change the font to be a different style. At any time, you can just undo if you don't like something. You can, of course, change the colors of all this and everything else. There are some other tools here that are actually kind of reserved usually for Photoshop or things like that. And one of them is the heal brush. So you can come in here and spot heal. You can affect the size of the brush and a few other things about this, how sensitive it is and all. But you basically just click on certain areas and blemishes disappear. It samples the skin or the colors and all that around it. It doesn't just work for skin. It works for surfaces or anything else that might have little anomalies in color or texture or anything else that you'd like to smooth out and make more seamless. So yeah, you can come in here and just very quickly click one or two areas and get rid of little spots and so on. Finally, you can choose to do a collage, and a collage will allow you to choose multiple images, and from there you can then take these images and it'll kind of arrange them in a way that you might want. So let's select 5 of them, see how that works. So this is doing 4, but I can also adjust the layout on this and go for larger or smaller layouts and stuff like that. So I can play around with this. This is a 3 collage layout. This is much more contact sheet and so on. What's kind of neat about this is that once I get one of these, I can actually affect the proportions and drag it around and adjust, kind of how it's laid out. But if I don't like that it's focusing on this part, I can actually move this around and kind of change what this is actually, focusing on and stuff like that. Even moving them to different parts of the collage so that I can have a bit more balanced visually. I can adjust the roundness of these edges as well, and I can adjust the spacing and even adjust the color of this any way you like. And then when you're finished, you just hit finish, and then you can continue from that point to do additional adjustments. There's another adjustment type here that lets you do a focal point that's actually pretty slick, because that focal point does more than just one area of focus. So if I go to focal point, you're going to get this kind of circular focus, which focuses on one area and then it blurs out, and then it blurs a second time. It's even stronger. So you can adjust this to have a larger area of focus and a larger area of blur, and it takes a little longer to start blurring. You can adjust how your color boost is happening in the center and how much it's fading in the end. You can affect the glow itself on the outer edges and how blurry that gets and how light might create this kind of glow effect. But you can also choose to do a focal point that's more of a line. And so this is more bands, and you can control that, how tightly you want to focus on that, how much you want to blur out some of the other areas and stuff. Adjust the color there, just to glow a little bit more, and then apply. So there's your image, with those other effects. And click on that, you can see a little bit better. All right, so that is Pixlr Express. Note that when you are here, you can also get the mobile app. It does work on Android. It does work on iOS. Just search for Pixlr Express. It's a wonderful little program. It's very easy to use, and it's for your browser and for your mobile device. So I certainly hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you find that one useful. And if you did, why don't you go ahead and hit that like button. And in fact, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Share this video with your friends and leave comments in the comment box below, and we will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.